everybody. It is M. Ashley, otherwise Michelle, broadcasting from Southern California's gorgeous inland empire. And I am here this evening to talk about my very first bariatric class. As I have mentioned in previous videos, I am with Kaiser Permanente Insurance, and they require a 12-week bariatric class course before you get your surgery done. So I went through like 2 orientations to get here, and I finally have my first class on Wednesday. So let's get right into it. We got this cool green folder, and you see it, and hooray for freebies. And in this folder is everything you would want to know about how to get kicked out of the program. They were very, very clear on that point. So for people who have Kaiser and are concerned about it, you cannot miss more than 2 classes, and they frankly don't like it if you do that. And if you miss one, you have to reschedule it within the week. You cannot change tracks once you're in your time slot. That's the time slot you're in. And if you change tracks, then you have to start all over again at week 1. And if you keep showing gains, they don't have a set amount that you have to lose, but if you keep gaining and gaining and gaining, they're going to have a serious talk with you. So that was a big part of the discussion. I should mention the doctor leading the group. His name is Andile Lela, and he's pretty rockin'. He has us call him Dr. Andy, and he is kind of funny in that like a bajillion of you are way too young to remember this, okay? But there was a movie called Dr. Strangelove, and I'm even too young to remember it, honestly. So it's because of my mom that I know it. Anyway, in it there's this character, Dr. Strangelove, who's like a former German, possibly was a Nazi, and he has this this prosthetic hand that kind of has a mind of its own, and it'll get excited and it'll start like creeping up and creeping up and creeping up, and then it'll grab him by the throat. Well, Dr. Andy kind of reminds me of that, because he will like randomly emphasize words at a much, much higher volume than is really necessary. It's like, and you will be compliant! We haven't lost any patience yet! And I just keep expecting his hand to go, you will be compliant! Okay, I'm done amusing myself now. So, Dr. Andy went through this with us pretty quickly. There were only 9 people in my class, which is awesome, so we actually get to know each other during the process. But nobody sat by me. I was very sad. Sidebar, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but the white hair and the very, very pink skin, I have albinism, and sometimes people are a little bit weirded out by it. And I'm not one of those people that's like, every time somebody looks at me funny, it's because I'm disabled or whatever. But everybody was a little shy of me. Like, they were chit-chatting with each other, but when I say something, they were kind of like, just got real quiet. And I'm a really good conversation starter among strangers, so that was a little odd. And as I said, nobody sat next to me, and it feels like there's this distance, and it's not out of meanness at all. I think it's because, when people come across people with a disability that shows outwardly, it's just a little strange, and they're not really sure what to do or what they can say, and, so given time, I'm sure that will all fade away. But it was just interesting, because I don't really come across a lot of that stuff all the time, like the occasional person will take a longer look than is necessary, or something like that. I've even had people come up to me and ask me if they can pet my hair, which I think is hilarious, so I always let them do it. And but this was the first sort of larger social thing where that's kind of been an issue. So like I said, it'll probably disappear in a few weeks when they realize that I'm not an alien from outer space and I'm not here to eat their brains. So, okay, so the first thing we learned in the program was about how to get kicked out and how to prevent your surgery from happening in a timely manner. He said realistically it could take, there are 12 classes, which means 3 months of classes, but he said realistically it could take 6 months from now to get our surgery. So that would be the beginning of March or the end of February, which is fine. You know, I knew that when I started this, I was in it for the long haul, you know, and there was somebody that was really antsy about, well, could we make it happen faster? And he eventually got kind of fed up with it, and he goes, if it happens faster than that, embrace it. which is like, you know, code for if it happens faster than that, it's going to be a freaking miracle. So anyway, but we were told also that when we get our surgery, it's through Kaiser doctors, Kaiser surgeons, and their bariatric team, but we will not be at the Kaiser hospital. We will be at this hospital in my town called St. Bernardine's, and it's kind of rocking because that's where my mom was born, and where I've had many family members go when they were ill. So our vibes are all over that place. And I'm hoping that I get one of the rooms that has the view of the cemetery across the street, because I think that would make an awesome Instagram. Because there is, right across the street from the hospital, an old cemetery. And it's sort of like, well, you know, that's convenient. And so, this one guy was upset about that, because, you know, my town's pretty sketchy, and, you know, crime and whatnot. And, but, you know, he's just going to have to deal with it. St. Bernardine's is great. Oh, and we get our own private rooms. I think that the guy who was complaining was missing the significance of that. Yay, private room! Okay, so the other thing we went through was the things that could delay us from surgery. It was severe vitamin deficiencies, out of control diabetes, out of control blood pressure, and he said basically it's health conditions. If you don't have your health conditions under control, then you're not going to be fit for surgery, and it's going to make you take longer to get there. So that makes me very glad that as far as I know, I am in pretty good health. I don't have high blood pressure or the diabetes or anything like that. So, and I think he said your A1C has to be below 8, and mine is like 5 or something, so I'm pretty good at that. And then we went over what vitamins he wants us to take. And here is the list. Oh, I don't know. Can you? Hello, my eyeballs are above it. I don't know if you can see that. But it's a very specific list, which is cool, because it doesn't really leave anything up for debate. And it really tells you exactly what you need and the exact amount, which is cool, because I wasn't expecting that. And he wants us to start taking a bariatric regimen of vitamins now, so that we get in the habit. And he said the only difference when we actually have the surgery from what he's recommending now is that we'll take an extra calcium. But other than that, let's see. You got to see, now you're going to see how close I have to have stuff to read it. Here we go. A multivitamin. And it says to avoid senior vitamins and men's vitamins and gummy vitamins. And I'm not really sure why the gummy vitamins, but the senior and the men's vitamins don't have iron in them. So you want the one with iron in it. And then we are supposed to be taking a calcium D3. Pre-op dose is 1,000 milligrams per day. And he told us that we can only absorb about 500 to 600 at a time. So we need to get the 500 milligram calcium chews and eat them at twice a day. And vitamin D, in addition to what's in the calcium chews and in the multivitamin, we need 2,000 extra international units a day. So, and then sorry, not finally, second to last, vitamin B1, 50 milligrams 3 times per week. So, I did not know about vitamin B1. Bad YouTubers. Nobody told me about vitamin B1, or I don't know if that's Kaiser specific or what. So vitamin B1, that's a new one. And then last but not least, vitamin B12, 1,000 milligrams sublingual, 3 times per week. Or 500 milligrams by mouth daily. So that one I kind of knew about. And then it has a schedule for how you should be taking your vitamins at breakfast. And you're not supposed to take your I know like a bajillion people have said it, but in case you're watching my video and you haven't watched anybody else's video on vitamins, I'm going to tell you anyway. You are not supposed to take your calcium with your multivitamin because the multivitamin has iron in it, and calcium and iron, I guess, get into a death match inside your stomach, and nobody wins. So in order to absorb the calcium properly, you need to take it not with your multivitamin. So here it says to take your multivitamin, and everything is with food. He said everything is with food. So to take your multivitamin, your B12, your B1, and your vitamin D at breakfast, and the B1 and B12 is only 3 times a week. And at lunch, take your calcium, and at dinner, take your calcium, which is totally doable. And to that end, to get us to be good vitamin takers, they gave us some freebies. Everybody loves a freebie. They gave us some samples of Bariatric Advantage. I have no idea how to make. There we go. Of Bariatric Advantage. And in here, I already ate them, so I can't show you them. But in here were 4 calcium chews and a Bariatric Advantage, which is called an EA vitamin, which has all of your bariatric vitamins in it except the calcium. So it has a regular multivitamin and multimineral with iron and all that jazz. It has the B1, it has the B12, and it has the D3, the extra D3 in it. So that's pretty cool. And I tried it, and it smelled gnarly. I'm not gonna lie, it really smelled gnarly, but it actually tasted okay. Totally tasted okay. It was a little chalky, like a Tums or whatever, but that's to be expected. It was pretty tasty. And I have had the calcium chews, and they were all pretty good, except there was one that I think was supposed to be peanut butter, but it really tasted like death. So don't get the Bariatric Advantage peanut butter ones because it's disgusting. Anyway, so I was very pleased with that. And we also got the Celebrate vitamin freebies. What did I say over here? And there are a couple of these ones left, so I can show you. This one included 2 multivitamins and 2 calcium chews. And the multivitamin on this one is not, it doesn't include everything, it just includes a multivitamin. And the calcium chews are calcium chews with D3. The calcium chews on those, on the Celebrate vitamins, are not very good at all. Especially compared to the Bariatric Advantage. They're real chalky, they kind of feel like they've got a sandy texture. It's just not great. It's just not great. So, out of those 2, I would definitely recommend the Bariatric Advantage. So I went on Amazon and I promptly purchased some of the Bariatric Advantage EA vitamins, which are the ones that include all the bariatric vitamins that you need, and some calcium chews from Bariatric Advantage that are cherry flavored, or strawberry flavored, I think, which everybody said tastes like Starburst, so I'm down with that. And I got a pill box because I take a buttload of pills, and one of them is metformin, which, as people who, it's like giant, it's like 6 feet long. So I got a pill box that's like an inch deep, and each pocket is an inch deep and an inch wide, so that should really be able to fit the supplements and everything in it. It's one of those, well, I'll wait and I'll let it be a surprise when it comes, and I'll make a video about it. Okay, so let me see, we got vitamins and where we're going to be and what we have to do, and And I think that covered it. We got an itinerary for what the classes are going to cover, but I will come to you with a video about each one of those as we get there. So I'm not going to, again, I'm not going to give away the mystery. I'm not going to give away the surprise of what videos are to come. My meeting day is Wednesday at 3 p.m., which kind of stinks because they weigh us at every meeting, and it's like, don't weigh me at 3 p.m. I drink a ton of water, and I'm all sloshing around with water and having had breakfast and lunch, and like my weight on their scale is like 10 pounds different than my bathroom scale in the morning. And I realize if you lose weight on your scale, you're still going to be losing weight on their scale, okay? But it's just like frustrating because like I don't weigh that much, man, Dr. Andy. So I think that's about. Oh yes, one more thing. Did you see my very cute Fitness Fox headband? I got 5 of them. One of them is for a friend, and they are super cute and extremely comfortable, and they absorb sweat, which is really great because I don't sweat a lot on my body, but my forehead is like Niagara Falls, so I'm really hoping that when I work out these will help with that and the sweat won't be actually getting in my eyes. But it's very cute, and it doesn't leave a lump in your hair, and I really like them. So maybe during other videos I'll be sporting other ones so you can see. So they are made by Fitness Fox, and I'm sure you can find them on YouTube. They are all over Instagram. I think that's it. I feel like I should be talking your ear off more, but nope. Okay. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. Haha, fake out. I'm still here. I remembered what it is that was on the tip of my tongue to tell you. Kaiser right now is offering to its bariatric patients and pre-bariatric patients the ability to test a new app that they're developing, like a fitness app. And so I signed up to do it. It is called Picture It. And hold on. And the home screen looks like that. See, that's me, because it looks so much like me. But that's me having lost 10% of my body weight. And those little circles are called magnets, and you have to do daily tasks to keep your magnets, or I guess your face falls off. And the daily tasks are like doing your exercise and logging your food and answering a question for the social community, which there's like 5 people on right now. And I forget what the other one is. Anyway, they're pretty, or like today, a unique one was adding a low-cal version of one of my favorite recipes to my recipe box, which you just have to say that you did it because there's no recipe box actually on the app. So, which is what I did because I already have a low-cal version of one of my recipes and I didn't have to do anything. Anyway, and you earn points where you can level up. See, there's a little level thing. And you also earn points so you can get rewards. And so far these rewards have come in the form of these choose your own adventure stories about what this person should do to be fit. And I actually have, they're hilarious. They're so bad. And it's like one of those magazine quizzes where you know what the right answer is. And so there's like, you know, I don't even know what you get. If you get, like, at the end, it'll say, you have chosen the options that leads to a healthy outcome. Do you want to play again? It's like, no. No. I was going to read you one of the stories, but I'm not going to. There was one about a married guy who was 80 pounds overweight, who hurt his wrist falling out of a truck because he was trying to flirt with some girl. And then he was really lamenting how he was going to talk to his wife about it, so he really thought he needed to eat a bag of chips to help him, and it was so bad. But I made him eat hummus and take a walk around the block or whatever he was supposed to do to get the points. It was like, I don't know who thought of it. I just, you know, or there's the one about the woman, and she's lost all this weight, and so she's flirting with a guy that she thinks looks like Clark Kent, and she's like, it's like this internal monologue. Oh, God. Well, in another video, this one's kind of running long. In another video, I'll read you one of the stories. But it's unintentionally hilarious. So, anyway, so if the time comes that this becomes a little more mainstream, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a little game, and you actually don't enter your food in here. You enter it in Fitbit, and it will automatically enter it in here. So it connects with Fitbit to do your exercise, or Jawbone up. And so what I do is I enter my food in MyFitnessPal, which enters it in my Fitbit, which enters it into this application, because I like the Fitbit app a lot, but for calorie counting, but it doesn't have as good of a nutritional analysis, and it doesn't have as many foods on it. Like, you can even put your vitamin in the MyFitnessPal, and it'll track like those nutrients too. So anyway, that's what I do. And if this app ever becomes available widely, I would recommend it. It's a fun little thing. You know, it's new, so maybe I'll tell you like a month down the road if I'm still using it, but it's pretty cute. So that is my little PS. And I'm going away for real now. 1, 2, 3.